here, all of us are here because we love New Deal. And this is just tearing New Deal down. I promise you, every one of these members and Ms. Reed has an open door policy. You can go and have a coffee with them, set up a meeting, and just ask. Let's work out our differences for our kids. Because all this is doing is tearing down our school, which is hurting our students. Our tax base is multiplying, and now it's time to build a successful experience for our students. Woke culture. In the United States today, I served in the military, as some of y'all have too, but I would die for y'all's right to say this. I would. Whether I agree with it or disagree with it or not, I would still fight for your right to say it. But in today's woke culture, the answer is let's tear down monuments, let's tear down statues, instead of putting our differences aside and working together. Again, I implore all of us to work together. Because we all of us in here, whichever side we're standing on, wants the best for New Deal kids. And again, open door policy, please communicate. If you have questions, just go talk to them. Whether it's a cup of coffee or a formal meeting or etc. Again, I'm here to 100% support of it. Thank you.
Extra time, I'll be short and sweet. We're gonna make it fair for everybody. Hello, guys. My name is Robert Villegas, and I'm here to support you guys. I'm here to support these guys. I'm here to support you guys. But I'm here to talk about what I'm hearing. A lot of y'all don't know, but I pretty much live my life in New Deal, but I live in Plainview. My business is in Plainview, but I do a summer program here for the kids during the summer. I go to church here. I'm parish council president of the church here in New Deal, our Catholic church. But I'm here to talk about what I'm hearing out there and what we're doing with all this that's going on. You know, my bride is a teacher in Plainview, and Plainview is losing good teachers left and right. And I've had 5 or 6 of those teachers contact me and ask me about New Deal. And they don't want to apply here. You want to know why? Because they're scared. They don't know what's going on. They hear this, they hear that, they hear all kinds of crazy things. The money being paid. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think anybody in the ISD community who works for any ISD makes enough money. Okay, I was a pretty big a-hole when I was a kid here. Okay, and a lot of us are born and raised. Some of us are implants, but the thing is, we're all New Deal Lions, and we're all here for a reason, right? Because we care about our kids. Okay? I'm going to take a few minutes, but you know what? I also took the look, and that's the first thing. Okay, we're hurting our future students by not being able to hire good teachers who are wanting to come here. Okay, and who cared? I care how we got here. Okay, but from this day forward, we need to work together, like the gentleman said, Mr. Mayo said, Coach Mayo said. But I also took the liberty. I have a really good friend who owns a daycare. Okay, and we talked about. I heard things about the money, and I went to her and asked her if she would tell me, be honest with me and tell me what kind of money she makes. Okay, now I'm not comparing the school district to a daycare, but they operate in a lot of the same ways. Okay, I asked her what she charged. Okay, on the average, $150 per kid per week. How many kids do you keep basically weekly? She says she's been doing this for 10 years, guys. Okay, she keeps no less than 50 kids every month. So if you take that total of 50 kids at $150, okay, she makes that daycare in 50 weeks a year makes $375,000. I asked her, be honest with me, how much of that do you keep? She goes, about 45%. About $150,000. Okay, and a lot of us in here use daycares, right? And what's our main concern? That they're safe, right? We drop our kids off at school. What's our main concern? That they're safe. We drop and then they're fed. Okay, same thing. And then she says we have fun, educational stuff, so we try to educate even the little babies. Same thing, right? Okay, but I hear these numbers being thrown out. Aren't the same people who take care of your kids, whether it be in daycare or whether it be in a school district, worth the amount of money they're getting paid? Sometimes you have to pay a little bit more for a little bit better talent. Okay? How many people are in here 40 years old? 40 to 45 years old or less? By show of hands. Okay? There's a lot of people who are less than 45 years old. Okay? I met Jimmy Nolan when I was 12, 13 years old. I'm fixing to be 57 years old. Okay? On Saturday. And if it wasn't for that man right there, I wouldn't be standing here. Because like I said, when I met him, my life was in turmoil. My brother Albert, he handled it great. I didn't, okay? But if it wasn't for that man, every time I got mad, and I was mad at the world because my parents were going through a divorce, so everything, my world was falling apart. And if it wasn't for that man sitting right there, I wouldn't be standing here. And to hear that someone's trying to take his name off this stadium, do you even know who you're talking about? The commitment this man's made for over 40 years, probably 45, close to 50 years, and he's still at every event that goes on, football games, basketball games, okay?
Yes.
I mean, this is enough, guys. This is enough. I hate how this started. I hate where we're at, okay? I'm a New Deal line at heart. She will tell you that song that I can't love you more than my hometown, she'll tell you it was written about me, okay? Because that's how much I love New Deal, Texas, okay? So please, can we just put all this crap aside? There's division from top to bottom right now. And it's not good for the community, it's not good for the kids, and it's not going to be good for the future of New Deal. Thank you.
Policy that Ron spoke about, open door policy, I utilize that. I have utilized that in the last couple of weeks. I actually set out on a quest a few weeks ago. And that quest was in search of what I could find out about the truth. The truth about 2017, 2018, 2019 when Matt Reed came on board as superintendent. I actually searched that out. I was fortunate enough that Kevin Goodgen called me, texted me and called me, says, he invited me, he literally invited me to come and visit with him about this situation. And so I think, I think to myself, oh yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. Go talk to these people, find out what's going on, find out what they can tell me, find out the truth. Make an effort to find out what was true, what happened back then that caused the agony that we're experiencing today. Find out. So I made that effort. Well, after Kevin and I talked for 4 hours one evening, 7 to after 11, we aired some feelings, questions, we made some questions, we did some things, we talked a lot in 4 hours. For 4 solid hours, we didn't stop talking. And so I think that was a good thing. Thank you, Kevin, for doing that. So after that, I made an effort as part of my quest in search of the truth. I actually reached out to some of the board members and asked them if they would meet with me. And sure enough, they would say, well, yeah, hey, by all means, we would meet with you. And so I met with Mark, Sandra. We met with Sandra for 2 hours in the parking lot of our church, talking with her about what had transpired, what's maybe where we need to look at what needs to be changed or do whatever. And so appreciate that of Sandra that she talked to us, Leslie and I, in the parking lot. It was a hot day. I couldn't convince her to get in the car where the air conditioning was going. I couldn't convince her, let's go back into church where we had air conditioning. But she stood right there and stayed with us, and that was good. And I apologize I haven't talked to you guys, you other board members. It just wasn't timely. I wish I'd had the time to do that because I was in search of views and opinions from everybody on this board. And I actually made the opportunity opportunity for myself to talk to Matt Reed. I wanted to find out what transpired back in those years of 2017, 18, and 19. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Matt Reed came aboard as superintendent in June of 2019. And so we talked about how that transpired. What my main question was when I talked to these people was this. It was a twofold question. Why did we retain Mr. Nolan as an administrative supervisor? Why? And because we did, who made that decision? Who made the decision to do that? And so I've gotten what I believe. I want y'all to see that sign.
I hate to interrupt you for 3 minutes.
Like 3 minutes, can I re-sign the list? There's no room on the list, can I re-sign that?
I'm just letting you know, go ahead.
I'll keep it short, I'm almost finished. I see up there on the side of that wall, the sign says believe. Believe, but I see another one over there, integrity. I see excellence, and those are good things. But when we transpire and do work, we need to remember these things. So I'm going to tell you what I believe after my quest for the truth. I sincerely believe that it wasn't necessary to retain Jimmy Nolan as administrative supervisor here. The board members, several of them told me, well, we actually needed to have this insurance. And Jimmy and Mr. Nolan has provided insurance in the past with other situations, with other superintendents. But I believe that the insurance is sitting right there in that insurance. That's the insurance. That's where I think New Deal ISD had come to a point where we needed to move on, get someone new. I believe again, Matt Reed is perfectly qualified to be superintendent, and I don't believe he needs any assistance from anyone else. I believe that. I believe that I was told that the reason this came about is because Mr. Nolan had offered the school, this board, a situation for him to be retained as administrative assistant for 3 additional years, buy out part of his contract for 3 additional years. There's a paperwork that shows that. But I was told that his offer, his method was what you might say, an ultimatum. Okay, I'll do this if you'll keep me on. And buy out my contract and let me stay for 3 additional years and only paying me $18,000 a year. I'll do that. Or I'll finish my contract out. Whichever. That's what I was told. So my belief is that whatever transpired back in there in retaining Mr. Nolan as administrative assistant belongs to this board member right here. They're the ones that decide that. That's part of their duties. Matt Reed has nothing to do with it. He shouldn't have a voice in whether Mr. Nolan was retained or not. I was told by board members that when this was all decided, that they looked over to Matt Reed, well, what do you think? Should we retain him on here? I also believe that maybe he felt a little intimidation and said, yeah, I think maybe we could keep him on. But I don't believe he feels that way today. So I'm pretty sure my 3 minutes are up again. I'll be honest. Would you consider giving me an additional 3? 9 minutes isn't that long.
No, it matters to everybody else.
I know, I appreciate it.
You can have-
Thanks for your time.
you can have my
Thanks
3.
for listening to me.
Coach Mayo, would you like extra time? Anything else in construction? Okay. It's not really construction, but our fence has been torn down partly by somebody that drove off the interstate. It wasn't nice enough.
And anybody knows anything about it, there has been a police report done, we'd like some information on that, so they are on it.
They left a lot of car parts, but that's the last plate.
And just if, board, we've talked about the playground is gonna be on that side of the school. There's parking lot's gonna be between the service road and the school, so the school's gonna be off the service road quite a bit. So we've already talked about the safety issue of being off the service road. That's why we're building it more on this side to the north.
Anything else? Okay, financial report.
Big financial reports I've got included in your packet. One mention, I was planning on presenting it on the screen this month, but it's really not easy to do in here. So I have posted this stuff on our website under our financial information website. So it is really June's pretty quiet month for our finances. We really not a lot of expenditures or anything to talk about for the most part. If you'll notice, though, I do want to mention in our state revenues at the top there, the 907, 442 of that was money that they had sent us last year and recognized it this year. Basically, you know, they had overpaid us, so we had a liability back to them, but they released it as revenue to us, and now we count it as revenue. So, so anyway, that's definite revenue, but it's not cash. If that makes sense. So when you see our other cash numbers, there could be a difference there. Everything there looks good. I think we're in good shape for our beginning of the year. The couple of things this month you'll see is in the debt services down on 71. That's our last payment for this year, and you'll see that the remaining balance is zero for that function as well. And then going on to food services. Food services is pretty quiet here in the summer as well. We still have some expenditures, payroll and things like that. But again, you know, we're setting pretty good on our food service as of right now. All the summer feeding, a lot of that food comes actually, supplies and the food comes from the food bank. And so, so that's part of, so we don't receive summer feeding money for that because it's provided for that. But we do cover the payroll, and essentially that's the majority of our expenditures for food service. Capital projects and sinking funds. Really not a whole lot of activity there. We haven't had any expenditures. We collected a little bit of interest. We've gone, as y'all might know, if you bank at Happy State Bank, you know that they've had a change in ownership. Basically, they've been called up by Centennial Bank, and so this month's been a little funny. So once things kind of settle down, I'm going to talk to them more about how our interest was reported for this month because it seems lower than it ought to be. But I've got a person there that I work really close with, and I'm going to follow up on that as well. Cash investments, cash through our general local fund, there's a little over $5 million there. Food services, $93,000 sitting in cash there. Employee service fund, which is our dental claim money, self-funded. It's got $37,000 in it. Workers' comp fund has got $13,000 sitting, and concessions has got $7,000. So our cash and our normal cash is set at $5,336,831. Then we've got our interest and sinking funds and capital project funds listed there below as well, which total of $38,785,000.
So our general fund, we get 5.1 million
In cash.
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 We got some expenditures, we're still have that.
Correct.
So, our fund balance, what do you think we'll add? Will we add a couple of $100,000?
It just depends, you know, with our capital projects that we've got going right now, it just depends kind of where we fall. I feel like we're gonna be, we can add a little bit. You know, we went into this year with those projects in mind, and knowing that we have fund balance to follow on that. But I think it's all gonna fit within the current budget. So it's gonna be closer, you know. We've been fortunate the last 2 years to be able to add to that fund balance and get it where it's supposed to be. And it is where it's supposed to be now. And so I feel like we're in good shape on that. I don't think we're gonna be adding a large amount to it or anything like that. We're basically spending the money. But we're doing good. You know, we're taking care of some things that have been needed to be done for a long time. And then
I have a question.
Action items?
First one, approval minutes from prior meeting. Motion made by Kevin, second by Eddie. All in favor? Three, 6 to 0.
Make sure y'all sign those. You'll hear about some.
Possible action on naming the football stadium.
I've got something I'd like to say in that regard. And really, talking about Mr. Nolan and kind of give background of his career with NDISD, some of his accomplishments. And, I guess he graduated high school last Friday. He got his Bachelor of Science at West Texas University. He got his Master's in Education Administration at Sol Ross State University. He got a Postmaster's in Superintendent Certification at State University. A little bit of his education, so all significant throughout his career. 1980, when he started, and he served 3 years as a keeper of government, assistant football coach, and a head track coach. From 83 to 88, he did 5 years as teacher of government, head football coach, and head track coach. During that tenure, he received the West Texas Coach of the Year and the coveted head track national high school track coach award. The national award. From 88 to 93, he served 5 years as assistant superintendent. From 93 to 2010, he served 17 years as superintendent. So just think about, just some notes on where this school was at in 1993. 1993, that year, the board of trustees all had to sign personal guarantees at the bank before this school could even open that year. Test scores for our for elementary, passing rate was 46%. In 2019, the pass rate was 77%. For middle school, 1993, our pass rate was 30%. 2019, our pass rate was 76%. High school, 1993, our pass rate was 36%. And in 2019, the pass rate was 89%. Those 2019 scores would be better. We all agree with that's 1993, I did advanced students in 4th and 5th grade. Today, our band is considered the lead everywhere they go, and they won the state championship in 2015. Not to mention all the other programs at NDISD that have achieved excellence for being used. I'll be the first to admit he didn't do all those things alone. But it's his ability to assemble and lead a winning team for the students in Newfield ISD. This includes teachers, coaches, and all the support staff. I think we have had and have the best teachers in the state. It's not, that's not proud of our teachers. We've always had great teachers, and we've always had great coaching staff, and we've always had the best support. And that's always reflected in our kids. He was Region 17 Superintendent of the Year. Additionally, he was voted into the following positions by fellow superintendent during his career. He was a Region 17 TASA Chairman. He was on the TASA State Executive Committee, the Region 17 Executive Technology Board. He was on the Region 17 Executive Curriculum Board. He was chairman of the South Plains Regional Health Insurance Board, which provides health insurance to 52 schools in 52 school districts. And he was a UIL State Executive Committee board member. That's why Mr. Nolan has always been 100% loyal to me throughout his career. I know this, talking to other board members at conventions, it's a man, we would love to have Mr. Nolan. We tried. He won't budge. You think about it, you gotta know, a guy with that kind of resume and success has been approached. Probably more times than any of us could have asked. He's never budged. He stood strong 42 years with NDISD. 2010 to 2014, he served 4 years as administrative assistant. During this period, Mr. Nolan reported to Mr. McRae his duty was to assist Mr. McRae at a smooth transition and support him as needed. 2014 to 2019, we asked Mr. Nolan to come back and serve 5 more years as superintendent. NDISD needed Mr. Nolan's skill set and years of experience to help direct and guide our schools back to the school we expected. Mr. Nolan delivered once again as promised. 2019 to 2022, he served 3 last years as assistant administrator. During this period, Mr. Nolan reported to Mr. Reed, and his duty was to assist Mr. Reed in a smooth transition and support him. You know, man, I'm really proud of you. We all appreciate the fact that you hit the ground running. You hit the ground, and we don't hit it. But you worked through every one of them. It was very managed it well. And, I look forward to what you guys are doing. Mr. Nolan gave all for 42 years, and I recall the support from the community at the time that the stadium was to be named Nolan Stadium in honor and appreciation for his years of service and achievement. There's many benefits of NDISD. For 8 years, I never heard one single negative comment regarding the naming of Nolan Stadium. Mr. Nolan is the longest serving superintendent in UDO's history. Mr. Dalton L. served 14 years. Mr. A.L. Fogden served 15 years. I believe he was our first superintendent. Ms. Noel served 17 plus 5, 22 years as superintendent, and 42 years of service to the school. As a new NDISD board trustee, I do not wish to disenfranchise the voice of any stakeholder of NDISD. Every voice is important. After much deliberation and in consideration of Mr. Nolan's commitments and achievements demonstrated over his 42 years of service at NDISD, and what I believe to be in support of the community as a whole for the past 42 years, I am against changing the name of the
Anybody else have anything to discuss about changing call to action here for football stadium?
I do.
I don't believe you can take 42 years of service. I don't believe you can take 11 years as your superintendent. I don't believe that you take 8 years and have his name on the stadium. Just throw it out the window. Over some mistruths. Social media. I don't think it's right. I wasn't raised that way. I good conscience, I cannot go along with this. And I'm not in favor of changing the name.
I second the motion.
Motion made to leave the stadium named after Mr. Nolan by Jacob, seconded by Mark. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Consider the possible action to order a special election to be held on Tuesday, November the 8th, 2022, for the election of one at-large school board trustee to fill an unexpired term. Yeah, this is the election, correct? This is correct.
Call it election.
I need a motion to call the election for November 8th. Motion made by Eddie, seconded by Kevin. All those in favor of having an election on November the 8th, 2022 this year? 6 to 11. Consider possible approval of the notice to order a special election for early voting for election. Motion made by Sandra, seconded by Jacob. All in favor? Carries. Consider possible approval to appoint Roxanne Stinson, election administrator, to serve as a joint elections officer.
Make a motion.
Mark's made a motion, seconded by Kevin. All in favor? Carries 6-0. Consider possible approval to appoint Roxanne Stinson, election administrator, to serve as a joint early voting clerk. Seconded by Kevin, seconded by Eddie. All in favor? Carries 6-0. Consider possible approval to appoint the elections officer located at 1308 Crickets Avenue as the main early voting polling place. Made by Sandra, seconded by Jacob. All in favor? 6-0. Consider possible approval of Exhibit A to the notice order a special election regarding the joint early voting schedule and locations. Made by Kevin, seconded by Mark. All in favor? Consider possible approval of Exhibit B to the notice and order a special election regarding election day voting centers. Made by Jacob, seconded by Eddie. All in favor? Moving on, we're going to consider possible approval of TASB policy update for 119.
And board members, you have a local policy comparison where they have different code structures where they've changed policies. You should mind that this policy comes from the state legislature, meets every 2 years. And TASB's, Texas Association of School Boards, updates our local policy after the legislature meets and they send it to us. Because we don't approve the legal side of it, we just update our local side of it to make sure our local policy is in line with the law. And the first one, number one, is that covers local policy updates 119. We hope you find the overview helpful. Should you have any questions about this, please contact your local TASB policy service website. You know, all these policy updates, they come from the state, from TASB lawyers.
Motion by David, second by Mark, to approve the TASB policy 119. All in favor? Carried 6-0. Consider possible approval of the 2022 and 2023 professional development plan.
Okay, as we just heard in that policy update, the board is required to approve the policy, the staff development agenda, which I've included a copy of that, and I've also included the State Board of Education Clearinghouse requirements that be included in all of our professional development, and everything that's on this clearinghouse spreadsheet is included in our professional development that we will start on August the 4th with our new staff. August the 8th, our returning staff will come back. And the way we do some of our in-service is through online modules that the teachers are required to complete online modules throughout the summer for the majority of this training. They get a certificate each time they complete one of those. And then we also do have some in-person training. We have service member people coming out to train our pupils in different areas as well. If you have any questions about our staff development, I'll be happy.
Okay, got a motion by Kevin, second by Jacob, to the possible approval to approve the professional development. All in favor? 6-0. Okay, moving on to personnel. Consideration of employee contracts and/or employment.
Okay, we've got 5 employees we need to investigate to hire. First one would be Glenn Copeland. He's applied for a grounds maintenance position. Now, I want to take a minute to brag on Derek Copeland. He's here. Derek's been handling grounds maintenance for about 8 weeks by himself. And so I appreciate Derek Copeland, what he's done. He's worked his tail off. And I know you can go out and look and there's areas that we need to address. But for the most part, for one man, we got 40 acres here. I'm not real sure what it is. And he's doing the work of 3. And so I really appreciate what Derek. So Glenn Copeland is going to be hired to help with grounds and maintenance. Andy Gailey, speech language pathologist. Kelsey Johnson, middle school science teacher. And Steve Young, going to be our new ag teacher. And Steve is currently with our students at the state FFA convention. And last but not least, Coach Adams, who's joined us. Coach Adams will be our new head baseball coach, PE teacher, and assistant football, and little everything. So he's very excited to be a New Deal. He was not required to be here tonight. He showed up because he's a New Deal line through, and he wants to be here. That's all.
Do I have consideration, Mayor, a motion to hire Mark Adams, Lee Copeland, Bill Gailey, Justin Johnson, Steve Miller. Thank you, Senator. Second by Eddie. All those in favor? 6-0. Do you have any resignations? Okay, acceptance of resignations and no resignations agreed.
I've got 3 resignations that I've supported to accept. Melanie Jasper, who's a middle school teacher. We did allow her to get out of her contract after the deadline due to she was offered a middle school principal position. So since it was a step up in her career, we did allow her to get out of her contract. Audrey Rodriguez was a speech pathologist we hired last spring, and she decided that she needed to do something else. And then Jordan Terry, that's what we're treating.
We have a motion to accept those resignations. Moved by Kevin, second by Mark, all those in favor? Okay, moving on to informational items. Facilities.
Facilities already bragged on Derek a little bit, but also, and I want to brag on our custodians. Look around this cafeteria, our custodians have done a great job. Mr. Thorne, our poles are clean. So custodians did a great job taking care of our buildings. They're working very hard. I know the elementary building is ready, I believe, right, Cooper? So the elementary teachers, they don't leave, they're there all summer. But the elementary campus is ready. They're about finished with the high school campus. But the custodian is really proud of the work they've done this summer. And they're under the direction of Derek Copeland as well. So Derek's doing a great job taking care of the grounds maintenance and supervising all our custodians. Football stands, excited about our new football stands. They're on track to be scheduled to be finished. They told me about 3 weeks. So real excited about our football stands for our community. It's going to be a really nice addition in our football nights.
Looks like it goes from about 20 to
That's about a 2-year project in the making. I know the board's been working on that project for about 2 years. So it takes a lot of planning to do this kind of stuff. And the timeline's hard because you got to get it in when we're not using it. So excited about football. Stay on facilities and make any questions.
transportation.
Transportation, all 3 of our charter buses are ready to roll for the upcoming marching band season, football season. So we're glad to have all our charter buses up running. The yellow buses are going to be 3 years in service now. Really thankful for the board for approving the purchase of those new yellow school buses. And thankful for our students and our drivers on these 100-degree days. When we get in September, they can get those air conditioners on there. So everything's good, transportation facility wise.
Okay. Filing dates to file for the application placed itself on November 8th, 2022, the special election. Start date is July 23rd, 2022. End date is August 22nd, 2022. Summer office hours, July 25th through August 5th, are 9 a.m., 3 p.m. Monday through Thursday, on Friday, July 29th, August 5th. Regular office hours, August 8th through August 22nd, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4:40 p.m. on Friday. Anybody wants to sign up front for our open seat? You can sign up at the office. And I believe that's it. The motion to adjourn. Kevin? Sandra? Brandon?